Okay, I think we're good. Okay, yay, we're live now. Hey,
I,
Steve.
I see the numbers. We are officially official, Jennifer.
Yes, for a second there, it said that we were having technical difficulties, and I was blaming Vicky for that last week. Maybe it was me. Gosh, I'm sorry.
I think everyone's just excited to be here.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to have you, Steve. So, Philadelphia, we were just talking about the market
You
and
were.
how you were just rocking it out of the house. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, but we're
Well,
here to talk about the Residential Real Estate Council
we are.
and
Those
what that
lot of
means to you.
acronyms today, Jen.
I know, right? I didn't use acronyms. Actually, I had to make sure that, and hopefully I spelled everything right because I suck at spelling. So if I didn't, just overlook it,
That's
please.
fine. You
Yes.
know,
So
it is a lot of these acronyms and phrases we're gonna interchange. So we got to make sure we start with the basics and what this actually all means.
that's exactly right. So RRC, right? Residential Real Estate Council. And
Correct.
then you can get certified
Correct.
as,
A certified residential specialist.
yes.
I think
And
we
you
can all agree that we're all specialists in our minds, but it's the credential.
That's right. And when did you get it? When did you get those acronyms behind your name?
Yeah, so let's do a little bit of my journey. So I've always been one of those agents, and I want everybody to virtually raise their hands. If you are one of those agents that is on the fence or it's on my list, raise your hand. It's okay if you're raising your hand now, because I was until about October. October 2025 is when I jumped off that chain link fence. So about October 2025 is when I got, actually serious about it. And I would say I was done by Thanksgiving.
It was
And
pretty easy, right?
it's pretty fast. I will say that. It came and went, but I took the time and dedicated to do it. It's not something that you need to, that's going to be slow, but also you need the time to do it. And I'm happy to go through all those details as well.
Yes. So let's start off with why. What made you want to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's the motivation of all of the colleagues that are mutual friends that all of us share. You
Yeah,
you see the love for Remax that we all have, and we always want to grow our businesses, right? So
that's right.
the world outside of Remax for me was that motivation that I want to expand upon knowing, other agents as well and give them a reason why they can call you or me or someone else getting that designation.
That's
Because I think everyone can agree that, we're going to get into, there's a few different ways you can obtain the designation, but it's exciting that when someone that's a newer agent can get it, it's not just something that you have to have so many, 20 years in. That's not the reason for any of this. There's different ways to get this designation, but it's a credential that you need to talk about in person with your clients and what it means, Jen, like that
okay.
you sold this much or you did this much and are an expert in your market.
That's right. And it does. You're the specialist, the residential specialist, right?
Absolutely. It's fun to actually have that, acronym broken down and say that I actually am a residential specialist.
Well,
Well,
it
let's
is. And then you can also have the logo and market it. And it's also a talking point. It's a good talking point.
it is. Well, how about yourself?
So yes, I became, yes, I have my CRS. I'm trying to think of what year I did it. It was and I was the treasurer for North Carolina. Did
We're
you know
gonna get
that?
into, we're gonna get into that. Don't jump ahead too far.
Okay. I
That's
was, and then anyway, that was probably, gosh, I think I did it 4 years ago. I started by going to Celebration.
okay.
And that's how I started. And then from Celebration, shortly after that, I got licensed. I mean, got my designation. But gosh, I want to think that was in 2021, maybe 2022.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. And it's not, again, we'll get into it, but it's not time specific when you can or can't get it. It's very adaptable to all of our schedules. But getting into the CRS, Jen, are you aware of the different paths, or anybody that's watching? Is anyone aware that there are two or three different paths that you can take to actually get the designation?
So I know that, well, so it's been a while. So if I, and you, and I am 100% whatever I say is going to be wrong. So don't quote me, quote
Okay,
Steve.
no
But I
problem.
believe, so when I went, you had to have so many hours. You had to have either how many years you were had been in real estate, and I've been in real estate 19 years now, or how many hours that you needed to take. And then when I went to celebration, that gave me 16 hours.
Correct.
And and I think I had to do another 16 hours of online classes, but I could be wrong about that. Talk to me, Steve.
So
You have it all written down, so you know the
I
details.
do, and that's why it's good to talk about this, because when someone who's had it for maybe 15 years didn't have this option, and now there's, so it's a
Yes.
good thing to talk about. So there are basically the three different paths. There is a path for an agent that is newer, that is building their business. There is a path for agents that have been in the business for quite amount of time. And then there's actually a path for brokers and managers who don't actively sell, but maybe they're like the trainers for the office or have some type of, activity and, involvement in the office, but they don't sell a lot. So there's actually three. So all of the marketing managers, everybody, the front desk people, if you have your license, you can still get the CRS designation.
See, I
So
didn't even know that.
yeah, so for the path that I took, and anyone can relate to this, is someone who's building their experience. So for someone like me who's been in the licensed about like 8 years, the production that you needed was 60 transactions or 30 million in volume over the last 5 years.
Okay.
Okay. And then you needed 30 credits of classes. Now, you can obtain those credits on your own at home on your time, or you can get them at celebration.
Okay.
So you don't have to necessarily go to the conference having the designation, but I liked it and I'm going to tell everybody why it's fun to have the designation.
So
Then
I did
there's
it the other way around. I went to celebration.
okay,
Mark Cruz from Colorado talked me into going with him. And it
okay,
was the year, I don't remember what year it was, but it was the year that celebration directly followed R4. And so
okay.
we stayed at R4 and then we left and went to Phoenix, Arizona and flew in there for celebration. And that was,
Okay.
I had never even really heard about it until then.
Yeah, I think it's gained popularity as we've all, started to network more, go to different events, starting to build ourselves up and find out that there are other events that, because we all love our events. We all love that humanization of our
Yeah.
business. As we all know, we need that. We need that connection. And this is just, I'm going to encourage everybody. I'm going to get electric and contagious with this energy, that it is another way to just open up and reach another group of people out there and more
So then
business.
So then when you did it, Steve, did you do the classes and then you went to celebration? Did you get your designation, then you go?
I did. So I wanted the designation already prior to going to the event, because I was told that if you already had it, there was a walk across the stage graduation, and I thought it was cool. So
Ah,
at celebration, there was a luncheon, and there was like 50 of us that like walked across the stage. So I
that's so
thought it was
exciting.
cool. I thought it was cool to have it, you know, prior to going. Again,
Yeah.
you don't have to, but I felt more a part of the community
Okay.
having it
Wow.
prior to going to the actual event. But the other way, Jen, and agents, if you're 10 years experience or plus, the pro path to getting the designation is 10 years minimum in real estate, 150 transactions total, or an average of a million of volume per year with a minimum of 40,000 transactions. But you only need 16 credits. So
Wait,
less
40,000
education
transactions?
for 40, I'm sorry,
I
40.
was like, holy shit, that's a lot.
Um, don't challenge some of us, Jen. But what I like about the pro path is they're only asking you to have 16 credits of classwork versus the someone like me who needed 30. 'Cause you already have the 10 plus years of experience, so they're not making you get 30 credits worth of classes.
Uh, that makes sense.
It does. And the big questions that I get from people are, Steve, how are the classes? Like when you go to a conference, Jen, and one you've never been to, you actually do say, look, is it worth it? What are the
Yeah.
classes like? So
Oh,
when
sure.
I signed up online to do my credits, I did classes that, I usually gravitate towards classes that I know about. Like Steve likes his social media. Steve will try to go to more social media classes, but Steve needs to go to maybe ones about, negotiating or luxury real estate class. So I focused on like, classes that I don't have a lot of information about. So I thought they were very helpful because the best part, Jen, is they're not timed that you have to click it and start it. It's
Yeah.
very flexible to do it at 10 p.m. or right in the morning. So it's very adaptable to, whenever you want to get it done.
And I found they weren't real expensive. I think I did 15 hours. I want to say I paid like $150 to do it's like 4 classes or
Yeah.
something.
So I'll be very, transparent, with getting the designation and I'm including the cost of celebration, about 1,700, and that
Yeah.
included the ticket for celebration. So imagine the cost of going to R4 plus, it's about $700 in credits.
Yeah.
So it really, it was manageable to have.
And and how many referrals did you get already?
So I did get my first referral the other day that was directly through CRS.
So it paid for itself, if
It
not more.
did. It did. There have been two specific agents that I want to give a shout out to that were big motivators for me to getting the CRS. Colleen Collier in Buffalo, New York was a
Oh, Colleen, she's on it right now. Hey,
huge,
Colleen.
huge motivator to get me involved there. And also Judy Chin in Bergen County in
I
New Jersey.
love Judy. Yes.
Her love for CRS is endless, and it really motivated me to get it. And that's why I wanted to get it before going to the event. So
And
these
have you gone like, and it's fun when you go to Celebration too, because a lot of agents there
absolutely.
are Remax and then they break off and have their little Remax.
Yeah.
It's
And
fun.
I just think I think it's so punny. I love the whole celebration play on words. I think that's great.
That's right. Yes, it's SELL.
I think it's so
Celebration.
funny. The only thing is it's so close to Remax is R4 every year, so it's tough to decide what we can afford in time to go to, right?
Well, especially when you're coming from the East Coast. And I think this year, I think Colleen told me it's in Vegas, right?
It is about I think there's like a 10-day difference between the two, so
And
we're gonna
my
have to go
girl,
like her
my Buffalo
strongest trip
girl,
10 days.
did you hear she's going for 3 weeks? I think last time I talked, she's going to Vegas for 3 weeks. I'm like, I, that that sounds like torture. I hate Vegas.
But Jen, the motivation I want to give everybody today is for me, and I don't want to say this is how it should be for every state, but you mentioned you were once the treasurer, did you say?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So
In North Carolina.
when I got the designation, a gentleman by the name of Mark, he was the I guess you could say he was on the board as the I don't know his official title, but he welcomed me. His job was to welcome all the new CRS members for his area. And
Oh,
he called me, welcomed me, gave me his email. Like it was very special. It wasn't just like it wasn't an email. It was nice to be welcomed to something that in my mind wasn't as big as I thought it is. And this is bigger than all of us.
yeah,
This
that's right.
RRC and having your designation. So the outreach and the experience so far has been great. And you get the pin. Everybody loves the swag and the pin.
Yes.
You work hard for it. So
Yeah.
wear this at conferences and on your listing appointments.
Yeah, absolutely.
You still have your pin, Jen? Is it?
So yes, but I have like the North Carolina treasurer one, but then
Okay.
and then and I quickly, I mean, if anybody knows me, there's nothing about this person that
Okay.
should be a treasurer of anything. Like I am
No,
the person that
no
ever has come out
commingling
to
the
my
money,
own
Jen.
what?
No commingling the money, Jen. Oh,
Yeah, no. It wasn't commingling, but it was like at that time, the lady that was supposed to train me
right.
printed out a manual and handed it to me and told me good luck. She was glad to be done. And I was like, uh, and so yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I did fulfill my obligation, but I was the worst treasurer in probably all of the United States, and I never actually touched the money. It was I never did anything illegal. But I did have to go through the system, and it was
Yeah.
not
Hey,
easy.
as long as you own it, you own that title, Jen.
I
So,
tried to warn everybody when they asked me to do it. I was like, I promise you, give me any other title, not that one, but whatever.
Jenny, I want to talk directly to everyone who has their CRS designation right now. Now, I don't know years ago if this app was out, but you have to download the Find a CRS app, Jen, because this is the
I
way
did
that.
not know anything about the app.
Yes, so download the app, and while you do that, I'm going to motivate you to check your profile because you need to update your profile.
Okay.
There, it's that's where you're going to be able to add in your areas, your cities. I know you cover Wilmington, North Carolina, but I don't know the names of other cities
Yeah,
nearby
all the
that
littles.
you
Yeah.
cover. Yeah, like that radius that we all cover. So when you go through the CRS app, find a CRS app, search your city and see, like, do you come up, search yourself and find out, like, do I like my picture, is it updated, do you have an attractive bio on there. Need to have a lot of things that are going to be attractive, because if there's a few Wilmington, North Carolina CRS agents, you want to stand out.
That's
I
right.
think we all tend to forget to update our profiles with just that basic
Yeah.
information, but it's very important, because this referral that I just got, Jen, ironically, was from a Remax agent, but he found me through the
Wow.
CRS app searching Philadelphia. So you have to do that if you have your designation. It's a more exposure for yourself. What let's talk about the actual celebration conference.
Okay.
Okay, Jen. When did you go to Dallas this year? Back in
I
March?
did not. So so not to be a Debbie Downer, but my mom was not doing well, so I took 2 months and spent 2 months with her. So I did not make. This is the first year I didn't do R4 or celebration.
Okay. All right. Well, I will have to give you my first hand. Was my first one. It was my first hand
Oh,
experience in Dallas. Um, I thought the conference was great. I will be honest. I worked a lot during it. I was down in the Starbucks for like most of the week working,
oh wow.
but I felt that it was a very good commonality of why everyone was there. I know
Yeah.
that may sound like a cliche thing there, but I felt like everybody was there for the right reasons. We were all, wanting to know, who was new, who was just getting the designation, who doesn't know anything about the designation. Still go to the conference, please. Even if you don't have one credit done, please go. Please go to meet other people and understand what this community builds. I felt like, when you go to those smaller classes, because this conference was not nearly as big as R4, you're going to get to be able to, learn other things that, maybe our conference doesn't, necessarily have, and essentially go into that walk across the stage if you have a new designee. So everybody's going to be new to it, just like we all went to our first R4. I mean, we can all say, how many R4s have we all been to? 10,
Yes, a lot.
15 R4s. One thing that I think everybody can agree upon is that every year celebration changes its location. And we all know that R4 has not changed its location for quite some time. So that is also exciting as well, to look forward to a new location every year. Jen, when you were part of the, tell me about your experience with, how did you become part of the board of RRC? Were you like asked to be part of it? Because there's a right method to my madness of what I'm going into. Tell me about that? Were you approached, or you just motivated yourself?
So I motivated myself.
Okay.
As soon as I joined, I pretty much went up there and said, These are my goals. How do I get there?"
Okay. All right. I like
And so
that.
they were like, "So great, wonderful. You're a newbie. You want to be the treasurer?" And I was like, "So anything but treasurer,
But
please."
maybe you were meant to be pushed out of your limits, or, you know,
Yes, yes, it was not pretty. But anyway, it all ended up good, and I, yeah, we'll have to talk about that. So my experience wasn't really great as treasurer, But so I
Okay.
don't want to go down the negative road because I think
Okay.
it's
That's
actually
fine.
an excellent. I love RRC and I love the designation and I renew it every year and
Yeah.
I am 100% for
Yeah.
it. It is very, very good. My personal experience, that's sidebar.
Okay.
I will join back into leadership.
Okay.
I just need to wait a year, but then I'll do it.
Okay. All right. I think for me it was I'm trying to draw on a blank right now. I think what for me is as soon as I um got reached out by the member on the board about being introduced, I started to get the emails. Do you get emails from like your local
I do,
RRC?
yeah. Not as much, but yes.
Yeah, and I know in Pennsylvania they host like Zooms, quarterly meetings. So I immediately just replied all to everyone, all the board members to, introduce myself and get to know them because they're spread out. My mind, in my mind, Pennsylvania is Philadelphia and the counties I work. I don't know the rest of Pennsylvania much.
Oh,
That's just where my mind is. So, some of the people on the board, the president is about 2.5 hours from my market. So you have to dive into actually, again, like you said, self motivation, getting to know your board members more personally. There is a reason why I'm bringing this up because you have to have. There's a reason why you got your designation, right, Jen? It's not to just have the shiny pin. I think we can
that's
all
right.
agree to that. What do you want out of it, Jen? You
For
know,
me, I wanted the education and I wanted the camaraderie. I love working together and learning from each other and helping everybody. And I'll tell you, I've been in real estate 19 years.
yeah,
And every year that I go to celebration, and I've been 3 or 4 years in a row, I take tons of notes. I mean, pages and pages of notes. And
yeah.
actually, this show right here that I'm doing now, I think this is my going on my fourth year doing it. This whole idea stemmed from my first celebration.
There you go. Look at this full moment. What's today's date? We're gonna write down August. What is it?
We're in 2006.
Yeah, like that.
21st, I think, August 21st, maybe.
Yes. But I think it's connecting with them gives a sense of motivation. And
Yeah.
the reason why I'm saying this is that you don't know where it's going to lead you. So for me, I immediately introduced myself to some of the board members and did that already leading up to celebration. I was
Yes.
able to connect with them in person at one of the I think it was the Dallas night out. I met
Yeah.
a couple of women there, and the next day there, I got a call from the PA president. It's funny. I was at celebration, and I got a call from the PA president asking for me to be on a roundtable 2 months later.
Oh, wow.
It happens very fast, and the exposure. I mean, you're getting so much exposure if you have the right mentality and
That's
motivation,
right.
and be strategic with it. Reach out and boast about yourself. How fast you got it and what it brought for you and why you like celebration because that's only going to help us later on. If you're telling your local board, well, they're telling the uppers about in RRC, it's only going to make everything better.
Amen.
You know,
That's
the
right.
yeah. So I was asked to be part of a roundtable, and she has me on the phone, and I started laughing. Jen, she says, "Well, you're gonna need to present on the topic." I'm like, "Oh God." I said, "You know what? How about personal branding? I don't know if you know this, Jen, but I started out at Remax as the marketing manager. I
I
love
do.
marketing. I did. I was the social media front desk marketing guy. So I'm used to talking with my hands about technology and everything. So we did a speed dating type of roundtable where
Wow.
me and six other agents, CRS agents, were each at a table talking about a different topic. So every 7 minutes, about seven other agents who were there would speed date with us, and I would give my spiel about personal branding. So it
Wow.
went from September to not having much to do with RRC to going to the event, going
Wow.
to these roundtables, just for a couple of learning, have a matter of taking the online classes and getting the designation.
That's
So
right.
I really encourage everybody to get off that fence right now. And I know we're all busy, but I'm telling you, dedicate the time to do it because it goes by very fast.
Yeah.
It goes by very fast. There's quizzes at the end of the classes, but I will tell you, again, you get the referrals. It pays for itself tenfold. But I think it's bigger than that because we get to learn
Education.
about other brands, Jen.
That's
It's
right.
the mom and pops. How many agents did you meet where like the broker says, "Yeah, it's just me and one other person." Like,
Yeah, really.
right, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I think we get to learn about what's happening at the mom and pops and what's happening at maybe competitor brands that we compete a bit against every day.
that's
What's
right.
the Remax talks and the Real talks and the Keller Williams talks that we don't get to hear with our local agents in Philly and Wilmington.
No, you're right. So it opens up everything.
It does, and you mentioned renewing. I think you can, and Colleen and Judy can help me out. I think it just you put your bills on auto pay and it just renews it for you.
That's
So if
right.
I lose my CRS designation, Colleen, just remind me to renew it. As everybody goes to check their
Yes.
designation right
So
now.
are you going to run for something?
So that's a lot, Jen.
Oh,
Um,
you should be treasurer. Believe me, it's a lot of fun.
I do love math. So I don't
Was it
know.
really a lot of math, actually? I don't even know. It was new systems and,
So I got an email the other day that they're accepting applications for the YPN for your state.
what's
So
why? What's why?
young professionals network,
Oh,
I believe. So it's basically summing up that the young professionals for RRC for your state. So I might apply for that. I think it's through September 14th. I got to read the qualifications and what
well, I'm sure
what
you're
the
young enough.
cutoff
Me,
is.
they'd be like, I need the old person one.
I don't think that's being like, part of the board, but it has some type of representation
Yeah, that's
for it.
awesome.
No, but
And you would represent well.
I think it's exciting to this is also about just this is also redoing your marketing. Again, I'm going to be like a broken record because I taught marketing. When you get a designation, you're redoing your marketing a little bit. You
That's
got to
right.
update all of your marketing, and you go on these listing appointments like, well, dang, I have this new designation. Tell them what that means, that you sold, someone like myself, you sold $30 million worth of real estate in 5 years. Like, they don't not necessarily know what that even means, and break
That's
that down for them, that what percent of real estate realtors have this designation, what it means, and the exposure for them. Because Jen, when you get a referral from someone in, let's just say, California or Wyoming, you have to have the ability to be able to handle that out of state referral,
that's right.
only because you have that designation. That means something. You know how to handle that.
That's right. No, you're 100% right.
I think if there's anything that someone can take away from this, is that it is not just another time to sit down and get classes. I think there is a ripple effect to this, and what it becomes with the right motivation.
Well, I love that. So I think we need to meet again in like 6 months or maybe in March, like after you go to celebration, and let's talk about everything you've learned and doing.
Well,
And
we'll have to find out. If I'm not sure which one I'm going to.
okay.
But if I go, what if we did it there?
Oh, that would be fun. Uh-huh. That's an idea. That's a good idea.
It's at Caesars, so we can't get too crazy where we're gonna have it. But that would be a great idea.
That would be a good idea.
Or while we're at R4, we can at least like talk about maybe if someone went to celebration, like the tips and everything about that. But I think what's exciting about it is that since it's changed its location every time, it's also exciting to go because it's a different classroom, different location, everything of that
That's
nature.
exactly right. That's
But
exactly right. So then to sum up, there's three ways you could do it. You said you
yeah.
can either do it because you have tenure, you've been doing this 10 years
Mhm.
plus the closings, or you could do it as a admin. Would you say, tell me the three different ways you could do it
Yes.
again?
So I would say someone who's basically the way to sum it up is someone who's a newer agent looking for experience. They have to have only about $30 million worth of real estate sold in 5 years,
Okay.
30 credits.
Okay.
Someone who has, let me see, about 10 years experience has to have 150 transactions total, or an average of $1 million sold per year with a minimum of 40 transactions.
Okay.
And again, you can go on the CRS website. The CRS website is very friendly. They break it down very easily with
Oh,
the
wow.
path to designation.
Okay.
I believe they're running a special now that I didn't see when I was there. There's a tab that says fast track. So Go research that now. Go research what a fast track would be. Maybe they're having a sale on the price. And then it says, yeah, Jen, like you said, manager's path. Best for brokers and managers who may no longer be actively selling, but are responsible for leading successful agents and teams.
See, there you go. So you've got 3 different ways. Actually, that's where I met John Young. I did a class that he was doing on, I know it was on, I can't remember the exact title of his class because it was 3 or 4 years ago, but I took a lot of pictures of his slides. He had great ideas on open houses, and it was just elevating. Some of the things was elevating what I was already doing, but taking it to the next level. So that was wonderful.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Colleen was a spokesperson last year. I know that. She's always awesome.
Yeah, I may have put my ballot in for Mr. Young, but you know,
Okay,
he
good.
knows that when he was running. Yeah, and again, you know, like you said, it's a big Remax presence there, so it's a double whammy. You know, we get to see everybody that we already know, and you know, meet new people. So
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful spent of your time.
Yeah, and it's a smaller. I think 800 people or something. I'm not sure how many, but I was thinking, I don't know where. I might have just made up that number. But I
Right.
remember thinking it was smaller than R4, which I like because I have a little bit of social anxiety. So I
Oh,
liked the fact it was slightly smaller,
right. Oh,
more
absolutely.
manageable, really, for me. Well, good. Well, thank you, Steve, so much for coming on. And I love you. And I just so appreciate you and appreciate your time and your
Thank you.
knowledge.
Yeah, I
And
wish we had, you know, I see a lot of shout outs and comments, but I'm sure we can get back to them.
yeah, or do you want to? Well, I think everybody's just saying, "Hey." Lisa says that she's in the middle of a CRS class now. They gave her a code.
Oh, she's giving
I
out a
looked,
code,
the code for the
everyone.
classes. She's given the code here.
Okay.
And everybody else is saying, just saying, "Hey." I think,
All right. Hello.
yeah.
Steal these ideas. Yes, John. Tell everybody, John, to get motivated to get their CRS designation.
And then Colleen says you could pay an extra $40 to purchase extra towns in your
That
city.
is true. Yes. Yes, you can. No, yes, you can do that. I do have to do that. So thank you for that reminder, Colleen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Steve. I'm going to go get some dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I've got to go put a lockbox on the door before I get dinner, but then I'm going to go get dinner.
You know, the woes, right?
That's right.
All right,
That's right.
Jen. It was great
But
spending
I
time.
appreciate you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
your
so
time,
much.
everyone. All right.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you right next week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.